Makkah Royal Clock Tower, which features the world's largest clock and a gold-plated crescent, was constructed under the request of the Saudi king. The king requested that the top of the tower be adorned with a glass facade that would appear like a massive diamond from a distance, with the largest crescent in the world placed atop, also 24-karat gold-plated. Only one company in the world, the famous German company Reva GmbH, could execute such a task. However, there was a problem. The engineers and the owner of Reva were non-Muslims, and as is well known, entry into Mecca is restricted to Muslims only. Reva had taken on the project, but Saudi laws were strict, and only Muslims were allowed to physically work on site. How was this issue resolved? How was the world's largest clock and a crescent, as heavy as to passenger buses, transported to a height of 600 meters? This was possibly the first and last building in history whose architect was unable to see it up close. Welcome once again to Discover TV's videos. The Makkah Royal Clock Tower is one of the tallest buildings in the world, standing at a height of 601 meters. It is an engineering marvel. Its identity is marked by the world's largest clock, which measures 43 meters on each side and covers an area of 16,000 square feet per side. This clock alone is as large as 35 plots of 500 yards each. With a cost of $16 billion, Makkah Royal Clock Tower is the most expensive skyscraper ever built. It is the only building in the world where the highest occupied floor is located inside the Crescent. Though it is currently the fourth tallest building in the world, when construction began, it was meant to be the tallest building. However, when its planned 600-meter height was leaked, Dubai extended the height of the Burj Khalifa to set a new record. This tower is one of the few that was built just 300 meters from the world's largest mosque, Haram. But did you know that before 2002, this area was home to the Ajyad Fort? Built in 1780 during the Ottoman Empire, it was intended to protect the Kaaba. Mecca is a holy city in Saudi Arabia where millions of Muslims come to perform Hajj. Religious tourism is a significant source of income for Saudi Arabia, contributing $12 billion to the government annually. As a result, Mecca has the highest number of hotel rooms in the world, with around 250,000 rooms, followed by Dubai at 154,000 rooms and Las Vegas at 150. In response to increasing demand and to reduce difficulties for pilgrims, King Abdulaziz decided to demolish the Ajyad Fort and construct a tower that would not only serve as a hotel but also exceed expectations. The idea was floated to make the tower so tall that it could serve as a minaret for the mosque. However, when the tower's height was initially planned at 450 meters, engineers had designed the foundation accordingly. When the decision was made to increase its height to 600 meters, the foundation needed to be reinforced.
In the next phase, the task of building the world's largest clock was assigned to the German company Pilgrims, with 165 years of experience in making such clocks. Installing such a massive clock at a height of 450 meters posed numerous challenges, especially regarding the clock's large hands, which had to be designed to withstand high winds at such altitudes. The hands were made of special carbon fiber, a lightweight and strong material. Carbon fiber does not bend under pressure like steel and is rust-proof, unlike steel. 5 sets of clock hands were made, with one extra in case of damage. The clock hands were so large that they could fit a person inside them. Separate motors were installed to operate the 4 clocks, with an additional one for backup in case of failure. Maintenance switches were installed to straighten the hands for easier servicing. The clock's final touch was to be the selection of a color for the clock's hands. After various experiments, it was decided that green LED lights would be used to make the clock visible even from 8 kilometers away at night. The crescent at the top of the tower was a monumental task. It was 75 feet high and wide and had to be lightweight for easy installation. It was constructed from a mixture of fiberglass and carbon fiber, weighing approximately 35 tons. The golden layers on the crescent were created using 10 million mosaic tiles, each coated with gold. The tiles were created in Dubai and transported to Mecca for installation. Due to the complexity of installation, the crescent was made in separate parts and then assembled at the top of the tower. The final challenge came when the parts were being lifted by tower cranes, which couldn't lift the massive weight at such a height. At one point, a strong gust of wind threatened to destabilize the structure, but workers managed to secure it and position it correctly. The Crescent has 3 floors, an office, a meeting room, and the world's tallest mosque on a man-made structure. Today, the Crescent houses the highest occupied floor, surpassing even the Burj Khalifa and Sharjah Tower. The construction of the Makkah Royal Clock Tower began in 2002 and was completed in 2011 after 9 years. During its peak, 20,000 workers were involved in its construction. The tower's 20 million LED lights make it one of the most accurately synchronized clocks in the world, visible from up to 25 kilometers away. The architect, Günter Nael, who designed the entire building, never had the opportunity to see it up close. When the tower was finally completed, he could only view it from a distance, outside the territory of Mecca. We hope you enjoyed this video on Discover TV, and we thank you for your wonderful comments. See you in the next amazing video.